Morning, students. In last class, we discussed various key constraints called unique constraint, primary key constraint, not null constraint, domain constraint, general constraints like check and default. So only we have one pending constraint called as foreign constraint, foreign key constraint. Okay. See, this is a foreign key constraint. So we up to now discussed about various key constraints which are used to identify what are various important aspects in one table. But when you see foreign key constraint, it is a column that creates a relationship between two tables. Okay, so it is nothing but up to now we discussed various constraints are based on only one table. But foreign key constraint means if you want to implement this foreign key constraint means it should be the relationship between two tables. Okay. So the purpose of foreign keys is to maintain data integrity and allow navigation between two different instances of an entity. So the main purpose of foreign key is to maintain data integrity. That is nothing but the accessing of the data. Okay, how the accessing of data means that is two different instances of an entity. So we will discuss that one. It acts as a cross reference between two tables as it references the primary key of another table. So these two points now we will discuss. Consider this is a table which is teachers relation, and this is another relation called as department code. See, because in teacher relation we have three attributes called as teacher ID, faculty name, and lecture name. Okay, and department code consists of department name. So among these three attributes we are considering teacher ID is as primary key because the ID is a unique key attribute. Similarly, department code consists of primary key attribute. So all the column that available here is unique key values. Okay, so you are maintaining data integrity. So we say that it maintains data integrity. So if it is unique means it maintains data integrity. And now how it allow navigation between two different instances of entity means by means of a primary key attribute. So see this one. So already you completed this up to this how we primary key means what and how you access these different instances means. Now we will discuss with an example. Now I have two entities or two relations with different attributes. Okay, in this key, in DBMS example we have two tables called as teacher and department in a school. However, there is no way to see which such work in which department. Okay, so if I want to search these two information, I can use a foreign key constraint as in this table. Now adding the foreign key in department code to the teacher name, we can create a relationship between the two tables so that now these two are primary key attributes. If I want to access which faculty is going to which department, now I have a question that this is the word that we have to say. It allow the navigation between two different instances of an entity because now I am asking a particular query is which faculty, this is a faculty relation. Okay, this is a department relation. Now I'm asking which faculty is going to which department. So there should be no relationship between these two entities so that you are accessing by means of a primary key with a foreign key. Now, this is called as foreign key constraint. Now, you are maintaining a department code in this particular what we call as teacher relation. So, department code is a primary key constraint, whereas the department code which is available in this is consider this is a master relation, this is a child relation. Okay, in master relation we have a primary key attribute. Okay, whatever the primary key attribute available in master relation, now the primary key attribute are in child relation. Now the primary key attribute, now it acts as a here, now it acts as a which is called as foreign key constraint. So based upon the primary key attribute, this is a referenced constraint, and based on the referential constraint you are accessing the information. So that now we go for the mapping constraint called as, if I want to a David which is going to teach a in the department in science, means based upon this code which lies here, mapping between which is called as 01 and 01, I can retrieve the data. Okay, here one point is available, that point will be discussed later. Okay, next, you understand, one relation, we use a primary key attribute, whatever the accessing particular primary key attribute is becomes foreign key attribute in second relation. Okay, clear. Now see referential integrity constraints. So a referential integrity constraint is specified between two tables. Okay, so that we have two tables. In the referential integrity constraints, if a foreign key in table 1, this is a, we have a foreign key, we have a primary key. One relation, the attribute which is acting as a primary key is acting as a primary key. The same attribute which is in another relation, for accessing the one relation to another relation, that attribute is acts as a foreign key. Okay, in referential integrity constraints, if a foreign key in table 1, foreign, this is a table 1, this is a table 2. If a foreign key in table 1 refers to the primary key of table 2, here table 2, this is a primary key attribute, then every value of the foreign key in table 1, every value in the foreign key in the table 1, this is the table 1, every value in the particular table 1 must be null or be available in table 2. It should be available here only. Okay, next, the main purpose of the foreign key is only those values are allowed in the present table that will match to the primary key column of another table. Whatever the data here, like here available, the data must be available here also. Okay, see this is an example. I have a table, I have a, this is a master table or referential table, this is a child table or referential table, or this is a primary key table, or this is a foreign key table. Okay, the representation of the name you can represent. Okay, see the important point here is, whatever the data lies in primary key attribute, the data must be or must not be available in foreign key, but whatever the data that is not available in the primary key, it should not be available in foreign key. So here we have the 11, there should be 11. If you have the 11 24, there should be 24. If I have 13, there should be 13. Clearly you have understand. But whatever the data here, 18 is not available, so that there should not be data available here. Okay, if there is a data 11 24, if there is no data of 13, it is acceptable. Okay, whatever the data that is available in primary key must or must not available in foreign key, but whatever the data must available in foreign key must available in primary key. I hope you understand. Okay, see this is here 18 is not allowed as department number 18 is not defined as a primary key of table 2, and in table 1 department number is a foreign key defined. So this is not a primary here. Understand this one. This is not a primary key here. In this table, this is not a primary key. Okay. If this is a primary key attribute, understand this one. This is a if this is a primary key attribute in this relation, this is not a primary key attribute in this relation, so that there will be a duplication of data available. So that is nothing but, see here, I have to say one thing, that is, see, once I will draw one thing. See, if there is a data 13 here, available, if the data available 11 available, so I have a data called as 2 11s, 2 13s, 24. It is acceptable? I hope you understand. Is it acceptable? Means, is it acceptable? Because department number in table 1 relation is not a primary key, but here it is a primary key. I hope you understand it. It should be atomic, it should be duplicate data. Okay, because here the employment number, if it is employee number, this is a primary key for this relation. Okay, but the department number should be referential key for this relation. Based on this department number, you can add these three relations. I hope you understand. Okay. Next, how we create this referential key? How we create this referential key? Next, see, I have a two table. Already I told that I have a two table called, one is master table and second one is child table. Master table is called as a reference table. This is a referential table. Okay. See, already you know how you create the particular table called as master table. Okay. So use a command called as create table name, followed by attributes called as 1 2 3 attributes. So the attributes have some data types. Now I am assigning id as a primary attribute, so that we create a master table. Okay, so that you created a master table. If you want to go for the child table, see, this is an id, this is an id, this id is a this one, this id is a this one. Which one? This id is a master table id, marks this reference customers id. So references table name followed by use a particular, see here, use a create table x followed by uh, roll number int of 5 comma id is nothing but id. So the attribute whatever you're giving, the data type should be matched with particular one. If I am giving 10 size, means it should be 10 size. If I am giving id int, means here id int means it should be id int. You have to define size also. Okay, id followed by int comma marks of int. Okay, next, now this is a primary key attribute, primary, so that roll number is a primary key for this customer table. Okay, now this id is, which is this id should be this id is a, which is one primary key of master table. Now it has to declare here, that is nothing but references table name. For it is a table name called customer one. The customer one, which is nothing but you are maintaining the id. that is. So this says that this word says that this is a table name which is a primary key attribute called as ID. So it has a primary key property. Now this is taking the inheritance concept of X and with the references of whatever the property available in ID. Okay, so that is what the definition here. If there is, this is the representation. But see, this is an example for what we call as what we create the structure of two tables called customer 1 and customer 2, so that we use a one student details called as ID, name and course here, and another one is ID marks. So whatever you are taking, this one is a primary key of this relation, and this is the reference key or foreign key for this relation. Okay, this is not a primary key. We are not assigned this ID as a primary key for this relation, but it is a foreign key. Okay, I hope you understand. Similarly, this one, employee ID and department ID. This was based on department ID. You are accessing this department ID. Okay, okay. I hope you understand, right? Next, coming to some important concepts. See, an attribute X is called as a foreign key to some other attribute Y, which when its values are dependent on the values of attribute Y. We have two attributes in two relations. X is a attribute in one relation and Y is another attribute in another relation. So we have two attributes with in two relations. So one is the foreign key for one relation and another one is the primary key for another relation. So here the attribute X, here we are saying the attribute X is called foreign key, that is can assume only those values which are assumed by the attribute Y. That is, whatever the values available in Y, that is master table, that should be available in child table X attribute. Okay, here the relation in which attribute Y is a master table, is present called as referenced relation. So referenced relation is a master table relation, whereas foreign key relation is called as with attributes X is called as a referencing relation. Okay, so foreign key attribute relation is called a referencing relation. Primary key or master attribute master relation with attributes called as referenced relation. Okay, so the attribute Y might be present in same table or in some other table. Already we discussed it. So attribute Y is nothing but main relation, might be present in same table or in some other table. Okay, the data should be available in same table, that is a primary attribute, and some other table that is nothing but referenced attribute. Okay, we have two important results emerges out due to referential integrity constraints. So the two important concepts are, see, already we discussed the two important concepts. We cannot insert a record into a referencing relation. Referencing relation means, see, already I completed this example. This example now we are discussing. We cannot insert a record into a referencing relation if the corresponding record does not exist in the referenced relation. Whatever the data you are inserting in foreign key data, the data whatever you are inserting should be available in primary key relation. Okay, we cannot delete or update a record of the referenced relation. So referenced relation is nothing but primary key attribute. So if we are changing the referenced relation, means automatically the data available in the foreign key relation should be violated. Okay, that is, if the corresponding record exists in the referencing relation, that is, we are changing the primary key attribute data, so that the child data also be deleted or should be modified. Okay, I hope you understand it, right? So we have the two, already we discussed two tables. Now referencing relation is a foreign key, referenced relation is a primary key. So this is a master table and this is a child table. Okay, so we have a table called in the attributes called as department number and department name. See here, student in student second relation, student ID is a primary key attribute. So it should be atomic. Whereas department number here is a only one attribute. So that there should be a duplication of data. Whatever here data, there should be duplicate of data. Okay, here. So okay, next. See, this is the high example. Now what we discussed, department number, which consists of, this is a primary key attribute. I hope you understand. This is a primary key attribute. Okay, so the value should be atomic. If this is the data that is in foreign key relation, now this is a normal attribute, so that there will be duplication of data. So you have a D10, there should be two D10 with two persons. This is a primary key attribute, SS01 and S02. Even though both are same department number, but IDs are different. So we have a simple concept called as student particular X. Okay, student particular X is also student particular X in the department. Okay, but their roll number is different. Okay, I am saying that Akshay, I am saying that Akshay. Both lies in particular department with different IDs. Okay, here the relation student does not satisfy the differential integrity constraints here. Okay, this is because in relation department, no value of primary key specifies department number 14. Now here coming this, already there is no data of 14 here. Okay, but you are inserting 14. It is violating. Thus, differential integrity constraint is violated. Okay, I hope you understand. Next, what is the behavior of the foreign key? Okay, so already we discussed this this foreign key, but what happens if you want to delete particular data? Already discussed this one. This topic now we are discussing. Okay, there are two ways to maintain the integrity of data in child table when a particular record is deleted in the main table. So when we are deleting the table in when we are deleting a record in a main table, so that they what happens in foreign key means, why we will discuss. When two tables are connected with the foreign key and certain data in the main table is deleted for which a record exists in the chain table, then we must have some mechanism to save the integrity of data in the chain table. Already we discussed that one. So if you are deleting a record in main table, means automatically the record is deleted in foreign key. So that you have to maintain the data in foreign key means, now what we have to do means, you use a keyword called as cascade. Okay, cascade is a keyword. So whatever you delete the data, see this one, on delete cascade, on delete null. These two keywords are two commands that we use when there is a constraint using foreign keys. Okay, this will remove the record from the child table if that value of foreign key is deleted from the main table. Only whatever deleting particular record which is deleted if that value of foreign key is deleted from the main table. Okay, next what we discuss. Next, on delete null. If you use on delete null means the data what you are giving, all deleted values should be represented in null values. Okay, this will set all the values in that record of child table as null, for which the value of foreign key is deleted from the main table. If we don't use any of the above, then we cannot delete data from the main table for which data in child table exists. If I want to delete a data in main table, I have to use these two keywords. Otherwise, there will be a instruction of the particular error will be explained, that is record in child table exists. Okay, so that there will be no deletion of data. Okay, right, clear. This is an example. Each value in the, I have a table department called as department number, department location. Okay, here the table called as employee number, name, salary. So here this is each value in the, it is unique, is a duplication data. So duplication data available means this is a reference data. Unique data available means it is a primary key data. Okay, I hope you understand the concept of the particular relation differential constraint. So in next class we discuss various keys not about all these keys. We have remaining keys also, and we will not use that keys in our lab cycles or practical, but there will be some keys available. Okay, that class we will discuss in next class. Okay, I hope you understand this concept. We will discuss all the remaining concepts of keys in next class. Okay, thank you all.